welcome back. My name is Maria.
And I'm Nancy.
And I'm Liz.
And together we inspire.
So today is a little bit different. Today I am the guest because these ladies wanted to interview me. They already know me, so I don't understand why you guys wanted to interview me. So it should be fun. It's not rehearsed. We don't have anything written down. We're just gonna wing it, and hopefully it turns out well.
We're just gonna put you on the spot for
know,
a little
right?
bit.
I'm afraid of that.
No, it's a conversation.
It's a conversation. It's a
girlfriends.
conversation.
And
Alrighty, so
I thought it would be really great to interview you because you are the one who inspired this podcast in the first place. And so I think it's like what inspires the inspiree. I'm playing around with some words right now, but I would really like to know that. And this time that you have been both interviewing, but would love to hear like what's stuck out with you.
okay.
So
Well,
I mean,
thank
you've
you.
been an inspiration, right? Like this podcast
Thank
would not be here
you.
without your idea.
Thank you. Thank you
Can
so
I
much.
can I
appreciate it.
start
Sure.
off with something though?
Okay.
So Miss Maria right here. So National Philanthropy Day, which is actually celebrated on the 15th. This year it was November 14th. She was recognized as a distinguished volunteer. Round of
was.
applause for
Aw.
Maria.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I do appreciate it. I was not expecting that nomination, and I'm very honored to have been recognized. Sometimes we volunteer and we do it because it feeds us, feeds our soul somehow. And I think that's how I describe it. All the work that I do, it feeds my soul, but not I don't do it for recognition.
Right.
So
I think that's key.
Oh, definitely. And I'm sure whoever nominated you definitely saw that.
Oh,
And I would be curious. I know that we all met with Seroptimus, and there's some other work, the other volunteer work that you do. Do you mind
Yes.
sharing some of that work that you're involved in?
well, I am part of two other boards. One is a county committee board, um, and I just started that a few months ago. It's going well. I'm learning a lot. Working with other nonprofits and the public in general, so it's interesting. And I'm also on the board for another nonprofit that donates dresses to girls, Sabrina's Wish, and it's great. It's great. And as you know, I'm all in with Optimist.
Definitely.
Yes.
How do you do it?
The thing is, I think for me at this stage in my life is that I don't have little kids right now. And I admire you because you have little ones and you're everywhere and you do donate a lot of time and volunteer. And for myself, when my kids were little, I felt like I didn't have the time or maybe I didn't make the time. Um, but I think now, and I wasn't even planning on volunteering this much. That was not in my plans when I joined Seroptimus. It kind of just rolled, and I kept raising my hand. I'll volunteer for that. I'll volunteer for that, and that's how it started.
Do you feel like it's something you grew up with, that like that feeling of like service, or do you feel like you gained that over time over your life?
I did not. I grew up not nobody in my family or friends. Nobody when I was growing up, nobody would volunteer. And being in a Mexican family and the culture, it didn't give itself to that. Like I didn't see anybody volunteering. As I grew older, I would have coworkers and friends that started, volunteering, and then my sister started volunteering heavily. And so I would look at her and say, "Oh my gosh, she's doing a great job. Good for her." And or friends, good for her. They're doing great. They're doing great. And I think it comes to a moment in your life where you look around. It's like, oh, they need volunteers. And you look around and like, okay, who's going to do that? Who's going to volunteer? And then you think you're the last one standing, and it's like you have to step up and do it. And so that's how I think I got into volunteering. And you know what? With volunteering, you're out there. And I think that's also what kept me from volunteering. Because even though Nancy doesn't believe it, I am an introvert. I'm an introvert.
That is
And
wild to me.
it would make me, give me anxiety just thinking being out there in front of people or joining.
And look at
things.
you now, right now. The introvert.
the introvert.
interviewed.
The introvert doing extroverted things.
Mhm.
That's how I think of myself. But yes. But even at the philanthropy day, when they're saying, "Oh, come up here to the stage," I thought, "Oh my God," it still makes me nervous even now. Yes, yes.
Wow.
But it was very nice.
Yeah, congratulations. That's
Yeah,
really
thank
incredible.
you. Thank you.
It's inspiring to see a good friend of mine up there. I saw your photo and I was like, oh my gosh, we really won that. I love that. That's
Yes. Yeah. So it was very good. So that's what inspires me. I think, and and if it's, I think if it's a passion for you and you believe in what you're doing, it inspires you to do more.
True.
Do you think that's why you feed into that? Like you're introverted, but not introverted in this sense. Like you feel that you are in this niche, so you can extrovert yourself in that sense.
No, because it's never the goal to become an extrovert.
Oh,
I'm very
interesting.
comfortable as an introvert. There's days, and
Yeah,
I'm sure you understand. There's days that it's too many people, and I've got to take some time and
definitely.
just disappear for a little bit.
I like that though.
And I've done that.
And the fact that you're able to recognize, you know what, I'm doing too much. I need my me time. Let me
Yeah.
step away from everything that I'm doing and just go camping with my husband.
That's not really that was not no, that's not my idea. My idea is just taking the day. You get up, get dressed, get in the car, and take off, and don't tell anybody.
Oh,
And the
okay.
whole day I disappear, and I'm okay. And so I think it's very important for women to be able to do that, and because at the end of the day, sometimes you're your best friend.
Mhm.
So it's like, okay, buddy, what are we doing today?
Yeah.
And right, so I don't have to be out there on for people. I don't have to do things or be around. There's times I just need my own space.
Yeah.
And so what I'll do, I'll drive either to San Diego, Yuma, Palm Desert, and take the day for me, go have a nice lunch for myself, and go to whatever store I want
I
to.
love that.
And, without saying, oh, do you want to go? Do you want to do this? Just, hey, buddy, what do you want to do? And so, and I like it. And it helps me all day. I won't speak to anybody unless I have to. I come back home at the end of the day and I'm like, okay, I'm ready. So the next day I can function and do what I need to do.
That's so important. That's great that
Yeah.
you can do that. And then you're in a space that you have like your husband in there in that space with you that helps keep you in your
Yes.
space, I think
Yes.
support is important in that.
Yes. And I don't know. Yeah, I think you do know that for years I was my dad's caregiver.
Mhm.
And it was years. So I stopped working full time and I would take care of my dad, help my mom with him, and also help my daughter who had ADHD. So I was always volunteering at school. And there were days when, as she got older, I would drop her off at school and drive back. I would see the interstate and just take off because I needed that space, because sometimes it gets overwhelming.
Yeah.
And I think it's good for women to recognize when you need that space and you need some time for yourself. And it's okay, we gotta take that time for ourselves.
Definitely.
Yes. And then just to think and relax and
Yeah.
yeah.
Just clear your mind from that.
Yeah.
That's so important too to recognize those triggers within oneself because it's so easy to get overwhelmed and all of a sudden it just bubbles out and then
Yes.
yeah.
And I think as women, I mean, you've growing up, I remember, years ago, maybe when I first got married or in my 20s. I remember my 20s. In the news, you would see the stories about women that would disappear. They're like, she was a mom of four, a wife, and, now she's gone and they're trying to find her. What happened to her? And they find her like a few months later or weeks later. She just needed to disappear
Interesting.
and just drive off because she got so overwhelmed.
Do you think it's that like all consuming identity of like being a mother, being everything else that you lose that self? That
I think
sense
it's a
of self-identity?
combination. I think it's a combination. What do you think,
Mhm.
Nancy?
I don't know.
I never felt like that.
I've never felt like that, but I've never been able to take just a full day off like that. That I'm like,
I could use that.
I could use a day
She's
like
like, I
that.
need
What does
that,
it
lady.
feel
What are
like
we
that?
talking
And you
here?
know what? I'm thinking of you being an introvert, and you're saying I drive off by myself. I have lunch by myself, and I'm like, I could never be able to do that. Like just sitting
Why?
at a restaurant by myself. Maybe it's the anxiety in me that I'm like by myself. No,
It
like
feels so good.
I want to have someone in front of me just
For
talking to me though.
for years it would I would think of that. If I had to go up to a conference or something and it was just me, uh and then after the conference you're going around see what do I do for dinner, especially if you don't know anybody.
Yeah.
And so I thought, what's wrong? So I would get things and take it to go or go into my room or, in the car or whatever, go in the park. But I thought, what am I doing? I don't want to do this. I want to sit down and enjoy my meal.
Yeah.
And so I thought, I don't want to just being so shy or being an introvert, that I feel people are going to be staring at me. I said, oh no. Then I got to not caring and really enjoying that time.
And then you know what?
Yeah.
People don't even care.
They don't
They're minding
care.
their own business.
And so
Yeah.
then you start doing it and you start noticing there's a lot of
Mm.
other people that go and eat by themselves.
Mhm.
And you just say and pray that they don't come and sit with you.
See, that's
funny.
another
I want my
thing.
space.
Has it happened?
Now it's like protecting that
I
bubble,
think
though. Yeah.
was, yeah. And I said no.
How interesting.
Yeah, you're in my space. Today's my day. But and then there's people that are extroverted and
Mhm.
they can't understand that. My daughter's an extrovert and she hates it. She loves being around people. Like that's not relaxing for her being by herself
Yeah.
or going out by herself. But for me, I really, really enjoy it.
How interesting. I
Yeah.
teeter both myself. I teeter a line of like if I get too much social, then my social battery drains down. Then I
Yeah.
just need to take that time, or I don't know. I'm fluid like that though. But
Yeah.
that's cool.
Yeah. I mean, it doesn't happen all the time, but there's days to say, okay, you know what? Today's my day. Gotta make,
Gotta be me.
yeah, me time, me time.
I'll tell you what, it's really important to find that me time, especially in this whole spirit of giving, because we are in the holiday season, so everyone's
Yeah.
gonna be giving their time, and you were recognized as distinguished volunteer of the year.
Mhm.
So definitely is important to keep and find that sense of self, and keep that sense of self. I'm curious in your volunteer time, is there like a project or just like a time that makes you think of like, man, that was like one of the most impactful moments that I've been part of or been able to like lend that voice to? And that's putting you on the spot. I get that because there's so many
Ah.
projects you're part of, like even part of that community benefits program that you're on, like that goes and helps many folks in many programs as well. And Sabrina's wish. So I just say there's so much that you've done.
um, I don't know if I can think right now one project that said, "Wow," because I think every project that you work on gives you something back. But you know what? I guess I'll go back because I also volunteered for 5 years with CASA, working
Okay.
with foster
Mhm.
children. And I think that one is the one that has fed me so much and made me appreciate life in general, my kids, everything. It really so close to my heart. So I signed up for a year and a half and I stayed for 5 years. And the only reason I left was because my dad was getting sicker.
Mm.
And sometimes you take things for granted, and then you look at these kids whose lives have been all over the place, and they have they're in so much pain. There's no stability, and then you think we live in the United States. It's the country of wealth, right?
Yeah.
Where we have so much, and there's still families that don't have it. I had my last family; it was a large family, and then the mom told me that every morning two of the kids would fight for the good pair of tennis shoes because
Mm.
the other pair had a lot of holes and you couldn't afford it. So one of the kids, of course, the shoes were a little small for him, but he still wanted them because it was a better pair. And for me, it was just hearing it
Yeah.
like unbelievable that is happening here.
Mhm.
That is happening here. They had no beds, so I was asking around to see if anybody had twin beds we could donate to them. But the shoes really got to me.
Mhm.
Was that part of your role as a volunteer with CASA, or is
Um,
that you wanting to
it,
find
it
that?
was, yeah, it was me trying to find the resources for them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think that just speaks volumes to who you are. That's
Oh,
Yeah.
thank
incredible.
you. It's just see the need and you see the stories, and they are, um, some are heartwarming, others just make you cry. And at the end, I was, what do you call it? I can't remember what they called it, but I would kind of train the new advocates that would come in, and I would take them to the first home visit and tell them, this is how you do your home visits. This is what you do. You don't do. This is how you things you're gonna ask the family, the foster parents,
Mhm.
and maybe the kids if they're able to speak. Um, and I remember one. I remember place. One place. I took the advocate in there, and it was they had two foster children. They were little. They were little, maybe two or three. They were walking, maybe three. But the little boy did not speak yet, and the little boy got so frustrated, And so I had the new advocate talking to the mom, and then the little boy kept, he was enraged by that. He was so upset. So he kept bringing in stuff from his room and throwing it, in front of me and everything, like the pillow and the blanket. And he would just stand there and cry and cry. And so I sat down on the floor behind the couch and sat cross legged and just opened my arms. And he came and sat and just snuggled, and I just hugged him. He didn't say anything. I just hugged him until he stopped crying. And it broke my heart. It broke my heart because he had so much emotion and he couldn't speak and articulate all his frustrations.
Mhm.
And so he finally calmed down. And then I left, and I left the advocate there. And as soon as I stepped outside the house, I started crying. And I went to my car and I was just bawling because of that emotion, because I could feel him. I could feel all that emotion in his little body. And but I didn't do it inside the house. And so I would tell the other advocates, because I had another one that I took. It was another family, and so that foster child had a really bad story. I mean, horrible story. The mom was really bad. I think had mental issues, and so the advocate I took to be trained, um, when she was listening to the child's story, she started crying. And so I was talking to the foster mom, and I had her here, and I could hear like, and so I looked, and she's crying, but at one point she was sobbing, and I was like, trying to do this, like calm down, and I was talking, and I could still feel her shaking. So I'm like, like trying to calm her down. And when we left, I told her, do not cry in front of the families because you have to hold it together, and don't let the children see you cry. It is emotional, and it's okay because you have feelings. You're human, but just do it after you leave, and it is heartbreaking. It's heartbreaking. So I think for me, that volunteering job is the one that really changed me.
That's deep. I mean,
You're strong.
yeah.
You're a strong woman.
And that's
It was,
recognizing like it what a teachable moment for that volunteer. And just listening to you, you definitely made that about the child and what it was for them. And
mhm,
when you stepped out, you're like, all right, now I'm taking this moment for me by myself, because that was hard. And I think, and
that was,
that's,
and I
yeah.
always remember that one, someone so tiny and to have gone through so much heartbreak.
And just the way that you were able to connect with him, though.
Mhm.
Like to read what it is that he really needed at that time,
Yeah,
that's huge.
yeah. But that's the one that just that broke me. That one, and no child should be able to go through that. Should be going through that
Yeah.
heartbreak when you can't even speak. That's the one that got me. So that's why I stayed 5 years, and I would have stayed longer if my dad hadn't gone sicker.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, but and there's different things that you do as a volunteer. And I think for me that was one of the ones that has fed me the most,
Wow.
even though it was very hard.
Yeah. No,
Yeah,
it sounds very impactful. It sounds.
yeah. And you learn so much from the kids. You learn so much from the foster moms, or the biological families, because sometimes things happen, mistakes happen, and your kids get taken away.
Mm-hmm.
And I think if the parents realize what's happening and they make an effort to come back, yes, give them a chance
Yeah,
and reunify the families. It doesn't always work out, but when it works out, it's amazing. Yeah,
definitely.
yeah. And then we've had also advocates that end up adopting their child,
Oh,
like their
really?
casa. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yes,
It's beautiful.
it is beautiful. It is. So that's my volunteering story.
What about your roles with like the most recent ones? Let's just say Steam Wars, for example, because I know you
Oh,
raised your hand with every single
I know.
project,
It's like,
or
even
uh,
when you tell me, Maria, no more, we can't do this
yes,
anymore. And I'm like,
yes,
hey, let's do a podcast.
let's do it.
Let's do this. Let's do that.
It's
There's not, sometimes I feel there's not enough hours now, but I enjoy it. And you know what? When I need to step back, I think when that time comes, I'll step back. I think right now I'm just having fun.
yeah. It's what's
Yeah.
feeding your soul, right?
Yes, it's feeding my
Mhm,
soul. So, yeah. Now, the Steam Wars, I
mhm.
loved. I loved, and I wasn't expecting to love it. I knew I'm working. I think this is a great project. It's a great event. But when I walked in there, I got inspired. it was amazing.
Remember our pictures when we met the NASA people?
Oh yeah, the NASA engineers. We're like,
Mhm.
oh my god,
I know. I know.
NASA's here.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was amazing.
I remember, I think we were even like afraid to ask for a picture. We're like intimidated. Yeah.
What?
Yes, we were.
Oh wow.
We were all
I
geeked
totally
out
missed that
there.
one.
Were you there?
No, I was there. I missed out the picture though.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. And we're like, there she is. Let's go say hi. Yeah. And we wanted patches. We're like, they're for the kids.
Oh,
I
that's
would've
right.
been there.
That's right.
I
I
would've been there on
remember
the
the
NASA
patches.
patch.
Yes.
Yes, I actually did get one, and I gave it for your son. I gave it to you for your son because
That's right.
you told me that he wanted
That's
that.
right. That's
Yes.
right. I remember that.
Yes.
And it's coming up.
Yeah.
It's coming up next
So
next year.
yes. So anybody that has a student between 11 and 18
Mm-hmm.
is can come and attend our STEAM conference.
That would be good.
I have a question. So, what has been the moment that you realized, you know what I'm doing is making an impact?
Yes. What
What has been that moment? Has that moment happened where you're like, oh my goodness, everything that I'm doing, I am making a difference, or I've already made a difference at Casa, or I made a difference in these young girls' life? Have you had that moment that said, you know what, I made a difference?
there's been a lot of moments you think. I mean, not to say, wow, I'm making these big changes in the world or not. Because as volunteers, I think this is why we volunteer,
Mhm.
right? We all want peace in the world. We all want people to be happy and things to go smooth. Um, but I think with the STEAM conference, when I met some of the students and our scholarship program students, and those girls, we were talking about what they wanted to do with their lives. And they saw us volunteer, and some of them say, I want to be a volunteer as well, because they saw the stuff that we were doing and they liked it. And so sometimes without thinking or without intending to, we inspire, right?
Definitely.
And some of their stories, now that they're in college, they still reach out to me. They'll send me a text, and they're
That's
like,
what I was hoping you would
yes,
say, because I
they
remember
are
that.
so
I love
sweet.
that. What did
They
they say?
I have especially one of them. So the first time she went off to college this year, and she sends me a copy of her first exam. She got 100% of her first exam in college, and she was so happy. She wanted to share it with me.
She sent you a photo.
Yes.
Was it like science related too, or
I
was
don't
it just
remember.
In
I
general?
don't, I don't
I
remember
did
either.
this.
I don't remember
Oh my
what it is. Yes.
gosh, that's
And so sometimes she'll
special.
still keep in touch, and
Oh, that is
yeah.
so
Oh, Maria,
cool.
I'm doing this. I just want to let you know.
Mhm.
Yes.
Wow,
And
Maria.
and for me that really,
Mhm.
it it kind of inspires me to say, wow, let's keep doing this. Let's do this conference again, and do all the workshops that come along with it.
I love the connections that you're building. They're very impactful, though. They
Yeah.
are. They are, because you're taking it a step further. It's not just, oh, let's just put this conference together. Let's walk with the girls, or let's show them this. Like, you go above and beyond in everything that you're doing, and it shows, and you're making a difference every single day.
Oh, I think we all are, because we all do a lot of. You have done a lot of volunteering as well.
Oh, definitely. But we're not here to talk about me and my volunteer work. We're here to talk about you and your volunteer work, and what type of lessons, and hopefully bottles of lessons. What type of lessons and messages for the next generation?
Yeah, I think the thing I like working with youth is listening to them and see what their goals and their dreams are going forward. Um, the space apps. That Nancy, you missed out. That was an amazing event.
Yeah.
I loved it, and I'm not so much into science and stuff like that, but I like it. It just wasn't my dream.
Yeah.
But I love seeing the kids and their faces when they were doing those projects, and how they love it. And when you see that passion that somebody has
Yeah.
for something, I thought, you know what? I want to make sure we have the space apps next year again
Definitely.
and make it bigger. Because, man, that's amazing to see them when they present their projects. So they have 2 days to present the projects
Mhm.
using NASA information and stats. Um, and so when they come in, not really having a clue, and and the next day they present that project, and it turns out to be amazing. But just to see their faces, it
Yeah.
was great.
I love that.
Yes.
Look at that.
So
It was very inspiring.
yes. So that's what I love, I guess. It makes me like, like a little kid saying yes, even though it's tiring. So, yeah. How about you?
How about me? No, stop trying to turn the table. No, like this is
The host.
this is
Whoa.
about you. But you know what? I think Maria has had enough of showing off everything that she's done.
Yes.
So I think we're just about ready to wrap it up. Maria, it was great. It was great
thank you.
interviewing you. It was great. I didn't know about you driving off and taking off.
Off into the sunset.
I was like, how does Maria even do that? So I not only got a little bit more inspired by everything that you're doing, but just the fact that you're able to balance everything out. If I loved you and admired you before, now like you're like up here because of everything that you do. So
Thank you, Nancy.
it's an honor
Thank you.
to interview you.
Hi, thank you.
Thank you, Maria. Nancy, you
Thank you.
literally said it so amazing, so well. You are an inspiration, Maria. And thank
thank
you
you.
for letting us interview you.
Thank you
I
so
love
much.
our conversations, and thank you
Yes.
for letting us in on some insight as like a woman, as a volunteer, as a human, as a mother.
Thank
So
you.
thank you.
Yay.
Yeah.
And so I think that's going to wrap it up for today. Go ahead and follow us on social media, right, Nancy?
Mhm.
If you have a story, send it to us and let us know what's going on in your life. What story do you have? We can share it here. However, you want to do that.
Go ahead and subscribe, like this post, comment, turn on your notifications. Be ready for the next one. Thank you so much to all of our sponsors as well. Remember, if you want to become a sponsor, go ahead and reach out to us. We'd be more than happy to give your business a shout out as well.
Yes, and if you want to donate to our podcast or any of our programs, that's also available. We really appreciate it. And we're here for you. Basically, this podcast is for you. So let us know what you think. Let us know what you want to listen to. Or if you have a story, I'm so interested in stories. Except mine. Just everybody else's story. And that's it.
Yep. Thank you so much.
Thank
you.
Happy
Thank you.
holidays.
Yay, happy
And
holidays.
remember-
And remember, my name is Maria.
I'm Nancy.
I'm Liz.
And
And
together we
inspire.
inspire.
Yay.
And remember, Maria?